for joining me again. Now, as the title indicates, this week's video is about a brand called SBD. If you don't know who SBD are, they stand for, well, they say they stand for Strength, Belief, Determination. That's as they've gone on, not just to be for powerlifting, but as they were known as squat, bench, press, deadlift, as it sounds from the powerlifting movements. As I said, they used to just be a powerlifting brand, but they've spread universally across all strength sports. Like, they're a huge sponsor in strongman, but they're one of the IPF's top sponsors. They're well known for providing the best kit in the world. So I've had a big order placed in from them, and here's the stuff. First, we've got the wrist wraps. These are 1 metre length. They do 3 different lengths. These are the longest I do, because this is the longest length that's IPF allowed. They also do 2 different types. They do stiff and flexible. If we have a look here, we see that's it's relaxed, that's it's stretched. That's how you can tell these are flexible wrist wraps. Now I'm going to wrap my wrists just to show you how to properly utilise them. You see that thick industrial style loop to place your thumb around while you wrap. Get some nice, good tight wraps that utilises the stretch that it wants to give you. Should get 5 good revolutions round. It should be nice and tight. I'm only going to wrap 1, just because you'll grasp the concept from that. We need to make sure that thumb is unlooped. The thumb must be unlooped. It's a pain to get off sometimes. All wrist wraps, well, most wrist wraps have a thumb loop. God, I can really tight this time. There we go. Where I'm being new though is a lot stiffer, and as we can see, there's a bit of movement in the wrist, and that's the difference between the flexible and the stiff. You might get a little bit of movement like that with the flexible, which is what I want. But I will be getting the stiff on order at some point, just so I can try them out and see which is truly for me. Now, moving on next, I'm going to show you the knee wraps. Knee sleeves. They do knee wraps, as I've showed you their training ones, but these are knee sleeves. I'm not going to put any on, but these are a size small. I tried them on earlier. They were really hard to get on with them being brand new, but these are definitely the best knee sleeves I've ever worn. Granted, I've only worn the Strength Shop ones in a few different sizes, but I've gone for a size small on this, and it fits me how I want. They are pretty similar to the Strength Shop ones, because the Strength Shop ones that I have also maximise what the IPF allow, but these feel really comfy and just have a different feel about them that, in my mind, makes them a slightly bit better. Now on to the main piece of kit that you're all here for. The SBD belt. This belt is known as being the best powerlifting belt in the world. Like, people may dispute what's the best, like bench press t-shirts, but one thing every lifter has in common: the SBD belt. So let's detail it. If we look at the buckle, we can see it follows the same sort of lever system as the Strength Shop one does. That is an lever arch rather than the pins, and we see the holes there. Now, it's different to the Strength Shop one with their lever. This is fixed in place there, and it's similar to a pin one because you adjust it. So let's say you had a few more pork pies for tea. If you normally stick them in those 2 holes, you can just stick them in them 2 holes rather than having to unscrew that, move it round. Detailed into what it is, it's 13mm thickness, 10 centimeters tall in that way, 13 mils in that way, and again, truly maximises the capabilities of the IPF rules. So I'm just going to put it on for you now, just so you can see it. As I say, it is very, very new. I only opened it this morning before I started recording, so it's not broken in. So I'm going to struggle with this a bit, but we clip it in there, which is where it's going to fit nice for us. pull this lever. That gets it nice and tight with a good clasp around us. Feels good, feels strong. Shouldn't take too long to bed in, and as we see, I've got it in a few pins from the end. So once it's bedded in, and I'm feeling like it'll fit just perfectly for me. Like I said, I've not lifted any of this gear yet, but on face value, if you've got the money, I would definitely recommend this. If you've not got the money, I'd recommend the Strength Shop gear, because that is very good mid-range stuff. Not your cheap tacky stuff that'll only last 2 or 3 goes, but your Strength Shop ones will last for life, but just not as good as this. You might be thinking, comparing the prices. Strength Shop wrist wraps cost about £20 I paid. For these SBD ones, they cost about £30. So a little bit more. Definitely worth it on these more than anything, just because of the extra length and the choice between flexible and stiff. Sleeves, Strength Shop ones cost about £45. These ones cost £60. I'd have to get some big weight on first to properly judge, but I believe that they're going to be really good. But maybe not quite worth the £15, but again, I can't comment on that. Now, the belt itself, Strength Shop ones cost £90. This one cost £180, double the price. As I said with knee sleeves, it's not quite as simple as the wrist wraps, where there's only a £10 difference. There's quite a lot of money difference in that. So it's going to have to see, does this give me 5 kilos, does it not? Is it worth, do you pay £90 for 2.5 more kilos, 5 more kilos? It all depends how it is with the weight. When I eventually get the money, I will buy some more wrist wraps in the stiff variant, as I've said. Look forward to showing you that. But that just about sums up this video, nice and short and snappy. Again, I'll provide plenty of training updates when I'm wearing that belt, the knee sleeves and the wrist wraps. I'll let you know when I'm specifically wearing this piece of equipment. So I'll wrap it up nice and quick now. I want to thank you for joining me once again. Next week's video, it's going to be a 10-minute home workout. So what I mean is, like, if for some reason gyms are too far away from your house, you can't afford to go to a gym with prices going up over here in the UK, let's say you've not got enough space, you can definitely get enough space, because me and my brother will be working something out in a very tight space, probably between there and there. We're going to make it work. So hopefully you tune in to watch that. You'll find plenty of good information to help you on your lifting journey, and I'll see you next week.